Today we will present about the sustainable transport policy and evaluation of Singapore past, present, and future. Our group members are Nadia Emeralda, Isni Wahidia, Nur Afifa, and Rizky Ananda Putra.
Singapore is known for its achievement on managing the circulation of transportation through its transportation policies. In 1975, an innovative toll system called Area Licensing Scheme was created by the Road Transport Working Group in the Public Works Department of Singapore. The system forced the road users to pay a certain amount of money to pass the road during peak hours. In 1996, the Land Transport Authority or LTA as the main decision-makers board on transportation sector under the Ministry of Transport released the LTA White Paper. It is included in the White Paper that there would be a juxtaposition of integrated land use and transport planning to expand the road networks to meet the increasing travel demand. And then in 2013, the government tried to combine two-president policy orientation into a more conclusive transportation policy. Therefore, it can be stated that the past transportation policy of Singapore was progressing toward a more inclusive policy by combining the need of the citizen and the need of the government to increase the number of tourists traveling in Singapore.
And now about the present. Singapore is still far behind when it comes to short trip. A large part of the problem comes from people still using cars for short medial trips such as grocery shopping and everyday activities which can be car-free. And Singapore today has moved forward with better integration of surrounding lane used with transport nodes to promote more walking and cycling. Cycling has been taken very seriously by Singapore Urban Planning Division with particular focus on infrastructure improvement beyond. And then about land transport infrastructure. Singapore is a unique city-state due to its confined land area of 719 square kilometers. As such, it enjoys certain advantage in terms of connectivity. At the same time, although many in quantity, Singapore rail network is quite well spread, especially in terms of central business district connectivity. And now, in 2018, all MRT and LRT stations will be connected by sheltered walkway to nearby schools, healthy facility, and public amenities.
Now, turn to vehicle use and ownership observation. In this section, I would like to present the issues and problem solving. The first issue, the conventional wisdom that we can have more cars as long as they do not contribute to the congestion. The second, illegal parking lead to the congestion in local neighborhood. Singapore overcome the problem by providing a good public transport. Singapore enacted the electronic road pricing or ERP. And also, Singapore keep the highest vehicle price in the world. Turn to road traffic management policy. Singapore is small country and they need to use the space effectively. The problem solving are government has provided the cheap residential car parking in the HDB estate over the years. And also government will adopt a maximum parking standard like in New York City and London. Government enacted the regulation that car park must be provided first before buying a car. Transport emission policies, issues and problem solving. Most of car and taxis are still heavily petrol dominated, and Singapore enforced Euro 5 for all the diesel vehicles, Euro 4 for all petrol vehicles, and Euro 3 for all the motorcycle and scooter since 2014. And also Singapore government encouraged the owner of older and more polluting pre-Euro and Euro 1 to upgrade the newer Euro 5. Vehicles with low carbon emission are given the discount on a vehicle ownership tax.
Listen to the explanation on how sustainable policies transport in Singapore in the past and the present. There are 3 points of Singapore transport policy target in the future. The first one, walking and cycling are sustainable transport modes which is applied by Singapore. Singapore future policy adopted
to this purpose, walking and cycling are still an effective way in reducing pollution, traffic jam, and the use of private vehicles in Singapore. And the second one, the first step, Singapore based on approaches adopted for accessibility planning transport. The limitation of land in Singapore is the main problem, but according to the government, the answer is public transport because public transport is the only answer society mobilities in reducing pollution, traffic jam, and the use of vehicles. Singapore as well. Singapore is currently designing mega project in order to make all MRT and RT stations will be connected with department, school, hospital, and the other public facilities. The connectivity also become focus on the government of Singapore. Singapore saw a car with a driver technology is a solution for traveling. They show distant village particularly because Singapore has the density of pollution and limited lane and the most namely limited human resource in Singapore. Even though increase the number of passengers in public transport, the increase of number of passengers because the increase population number not increasing also effective of public transport. In addition, Singapore will not experience serious problem regarding public transport because the direct vehicles ownership control by government drove restriction ownership. And the conclusion, in terms of transport, Singapore has successful to prove the policy that the make has brought them on the progress and could be the example the other countries, especially developing countries. The concept of sustainable policy has been the agenda since Singapore Transport 1970 before becoming a topic discussed in international.